Hi, this is Janelle Saya,
And this is Jody Brinkman.
and we are representing our awesome first grade team of teachers that worked so hard to create a curriculum map that was useful and friendly for all first grade teachers across the district.
This is a podcast to let you in on some of our thinking as we spent time reviewing the first grade scope and sequence in Unit 1 and developed Units 2 through 6, integrating reading, writing, communicating, and social studies maps. Please know that what we have created was our best thinking at the time, and these maps are a work in progress. Our best hopes are that you will implement the maps in 2012-2013 school year and spend time reflecting on the learning target outlined, performance tasks, and provide valuable input at the end of the year so we can take the necessary revisions to continue to improve.
There were two guiding forces for us as we did this work. First, we continually were mindful that these documents are being used by teachers with all levels of experience. Our goal was to make these user-friendly documents while providing enough information for brand new teachers and at the same time supporting an experienced teacher.
To begin our work, it made sense to us to think about the year in overarching themes. So we created a document that defines the overarching transdisciplinary theme for each unit. In order to accomplish true integration with the reading, writing, communicating, and social studies units, we crafted an additional essential question that tied the reading, writing, communicating, and social studies big ideas together.
As you can see, the transdisciplinary themes for each unit are classroom community, our history, exploring cultures, where in the world, sharing our planet, and planning our future. We roughly outlined a timeline for each unit and suggested the focus for reading and writing. An example of an essential question that ties the unit together from Unit 1 is, what can we learn from leaders to help us form an effective classroom community? This document is located on the Curriculum and Instruction Wiki along with the first grade unit maps.
After thinking about the year and themes, we reviewed the scope and sequence. We literally cut apart all of the evidence outcomes and placed them across the year from the lens of what is developmentally appropriate for first grade children. We realized that when we teach specific skills may depend on what the data about your children tell you. However, we did our best to put skills in the time of year we typically teach them. Remember, these maps are a work in progress, and we may have to readjust as we go and after we've had experience implementing them in our classrooms. We encourage you to take notes along the way of where you might make tweaks. Another note about writing, after much discussion, we decided that there may be some differences in the semantics and understanding of narrative versus expository writing. Some of this variance comes from teachers being trained in right tools and some not. Ultimately, we decided that if we are truly integrating, we will be doing some of both types of writing at all times. At the beginning of the year, we recognized that typical first grade writing sounds something like, I like my, I can, etc. Rather than being hung up on whether we call that narrative or expository, we thought it most important to spend the first unit developing a reading, writing community and working on writing a solid sentence.
Once we completed the work of assigning evidence outcomes to the units, we took a look at the maps and revised some of the layout to make what we felt is a more friendly document. To reduce the amount of print, we reformatted the evidence outcomes in the skills section. For each content, we put a section for the current unit only and a section for the recursive outcomes taught all year. Under the knowledge section, we listed the knowledge as I can statements for the students. We significantly reduced the amount of vocabulary. Our hope is that the priority learnings remained bolded throughout the editing process.
Here you see the evidence outcomes for reading divided into Unit 1 only and all year.
And here you can see the I can statements and vocabulary.
Because these maps contain a lot of words, we unanimously agreed that it would be useful to have a one-page at-a-glance document that teachers could use as they are teaching the unit to keep track of the big ideas, enduring understandings, essential questions, and I can statements.
This document is intended to be printed back to back with one side being the triangle graphic of the big ideas, enduring understandings, and essential questions.
The other side is a list of all the I can statements for the unit broken down by reading, writing, oral expression, and social studies. These at-a-glance documents are housed on the Curriculum and Instruction Wikispace with the unit maps.
We created 3 performance tasks per unit and used the other evidence that was generated during the early release Wednesdays this school year.
We tried to vary the types of tasks. These are intended to be used as a bank to choose from. However, a teacher may choose to do more than one. Our hope is that the first grade team at each school would all choose to use the same task so it can be used as a common assessment. Rubrics will need to be developed and shared throughout the year.
Various formative assessments can be used on a daily basis to determine if students are mastering or making progress on the evidence outcomes throughout the unit.
Because so many of the evidence outcomes in first grade are continuously taught throughout the year, we identified those outcomes. In the maps, we indicated the recursive evidence outcome with a smiley face. For each recursive outcome, we wrote I can statements that are scaffolded and along a continuum of gradual release and placed them in units where it seemed appropriate.
This document of the recursive evidence outcomes is located with the unit maps on the Curriculum and Instruction Wikispace.
As we've stated, this is a work in progress. Some of the next steps include teachers collaboratively designing Stage 3, examining the first grade units horizontally across all 6 units, developing a common list of first grade reading and spelling words, reflecting after teaching each unit, vertical conversations with kinder and second grades, and developing rubrics.
The team who worked on the first grade units was amazing. Trish wrote that. Thank you to all of them for their dedication, thoughtfulness, and hard work in creating the first grade unit maps and supporting materials. We hope you have fun planning and teaching the units, and please remember we did our best thinking at the time, and these are a work in progress.